you seem to have had quite a varied career. Tell us just a little bit about what you've been doing.
Oh, yes, well, started life a long time ago in finance, which gave me the basis to then go the other side. I said the other side is more project side. And I took that financial knowledge and applied it to whatever project I was on. So I started life in the medical field. I've done a little bit in construction many years ago, but more predominantly within finance and banking.
So is that the normal path for a project manager?
No, and there isn't always a set path. I was a tester, a business analyst, and then a project manager. That is quite normal. What is not normal is to have other careers beforehand, which I did, and I value that because those careers were people-centric, and you learned a lot of life skills. And people think that project management is very dry and it's all about the outcomes. I beg to differ. I really believe that you can't get to those outcomes without having all those people skills. We call them people skills nowadays. And for me, that is obviously stakeholder management. I mean, you're a corporate guy, you do projects yourself, so you understand, but you have to know people. And if you don't get on with people and get their collaboration and buy-in, I really don't believe you can properly deliver. So for me, I've always focused on the people side of a project first. Obviously, you've got to know you've got to know all the terminology, you've got to understand what the project is, the scope and all the deliverables. But if you don't get those people bought in and you don't take them on your journey, you just won't deliver on time or within budget, which is ultimately what you're there for.
Yeah. So this sort of idea of the core skills, the technical skills, if you like, but then this people side.
Absolutely. I think obviously we can't ignore technical skills, absolutely paramount, and I do spend a lot of time learning and becoming an SME, a subject matter expert on whatever field it might be. And that actually doesn't matter as long as you can grasp technical situations or IT systems or processes. That doesn't really matter because I won't say anybody can do it, but that's quite generic. What really matters is how you behave when things are going wrong, or let's just say we call it exceptions. So when there's an exception to the rule, when something goes wrong, what do you do? And that is when those people skills become really important. And the more you know about the people, you know who is the best person to answer that question at that time.
Okay.
And it's those sort of basic things. I know it sounds very obvious, but it's not.
Okay. And it sounds like, and from things you said earlier, that you actually worked in quite male-dominated industries. I mean, what's it like being a woman in that environment?
Well, it can be fun, but no, I'm joking aside. No, I do enjoy that. It doesn't faze me at all. Obviously, as I said, I've had other careers, and I worked for 5 years in Merrill Lynch private clients, which was all men. And back in the day, with different times now, back in the day, it was very masculine. And I've worked on a trading floor, for instance, at Deutsche Bank. I was a convertible bond trader. Again, even more masculine. And, you wouldn't say you have to have a thick skin, but you just have to, for want of a better term, suck it up. And that's what you do. You get on with the men. And actually, you might have a bit of banter and you might have the odd person's negative at first. But after a few days or weeks, they get you and they realise that you can deliver, you can do the work just as well as they can. You're no threat, so there's no reason why I would be anyway. But you're one of the boys.
Okay, but then I bet you're going to bring something different. You're going to bring something different to the table than I've worked with men.
It's strange. No, yes. Now we have something called the boardroom ceiling, and now I'm not sure if it's a directive now, but I know that there are some sort of limits now on women being on boards. And a long time ago, I was asked to go on a board of directors. I won't say who, and I said no because I didn't feel ready. And the reason they did that is because they were just trying to grab at women, whoever. And I don't believe that. I believe that you should actually have the right person for the job. We all know that boards of directors are trying to attract women because there is some beliefs out there that women do have something to offer, even especially at a high level, such as board of directors. And I might be wrong, but there might be some statistics out there to prove share prices going up when you've got more women on the board. Don't ask me what they bring, but they in my view, they bring a completely different stance, a slightly different view on how business should be done, or perhaps how the strategy of how a business is run. And the same is true of a project. And we're very focused here on the outcomes, and I absolutely have to be focused on the outcomes. I don't stop doing that. But how you get to those outcomes, I would have a different view to a man. I'm not saying I'm right and they're wrong, it's just a different view. In project management, I do find, especially in the corporate world, people can be quite binary because we become robotic. When we've got a risk here, we then know what the solution is. We go into an automatic mindset, which is fine, and that solves 80% of the issues. But what about those 20%? Sometimes you have to have a little bit of a different stance, a different mindset on that 20%. And I think women can help very much with that.
And so among those exceptions in a project, you probably bring something different then. Particularly if you were, many men and you were one of the few women, you're certainly going to bring something different.
Well, I hope so. Also, I hope we can be more human. I think, and I'm not just saying because I'm female and there's men. I think we actually, in the corporate world, need to be more human. And I really totally believe that corporate world has got a little bit stuck, that we are all afraid of showing any weakness, and when something goes wrong, we try to hide it. There's very much a blame culture out there. And when I run projects, that's the last thing I will tolerate, and I do try and say to everybody, please, as soon as you come up against an issue or there's any type of risk, I want to know. And you might think, well, people don't want to highlight those things. Absolutely not. I want to know the bad news as soon as possible, because as you know, the quicker you know something, the quicker you can solve it. And it still is traceable back down to that ultimate objective. And what I do is take away any blame. I don't fixate on blame, which I see so much in corporate world. I take that away. People feel more comfortable at coming to me, and as a result, I get to hear things earlier. And strangely, projects don't have so many hitches.
I can see that.
It really, really matters.
Okay, so what's next?
Well, obviously, I've got all this knowledge. I want to be able to utilise it going forward, and I've loved my time in finance. I've done, as I said, medical as well, a little bit of retail, and a little bit of construction. I'm looking for my next challenge. I'm a continual learner, and I really enjoy learning new subject matter and applying that to whatever project I'm on.
Develop the new technical skills, bring those people skills.
Absolutely,
make stuff work.
Yeah, absolutely. Make stuff work. Are you happy with your life? Are you perfect? Thought not. If you want to make a change, take action now. Contact me for business and personal coaching.